Hey you guys, it's your girl Internet, and today I'll be coming at you with a video, and it's called The Inconvenient Truth About the Republican Party. Now, we did the Democratic Party, so now we're going to do the Republican. Let's see what we can find out about the Republican, because we found out the history about the Democrats. It's the Republican turns now. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn the notifications on so you can see me. And let's get into this video.
Racist, sexist,
Oh, wow.
Republican. These words are virtually interchangeable, at least according to most professors, journalists, and celebrities. So are they right? Let's take a look at history. The Republican Party was
That is so right. Like, are they right? You got to get their background to know like what they stand for, and that's a lot. I feel like school do not teach that right. I don't really feel like they really give like the history about it the correct way. Like, they need to kind of like break it down a little bit better. Like, the ones like the Democratic and Republican parties for dummies. It breaks it down so anybody can get it. So let's see what she has to say about this.
created in 1854. The first Republican Party platform, adopted at the party's first national convention in 1856, promised to defeat, quote, those twin relics of barbarism, polygamy, and slavery. Those twin relics were spreading into the Western territories. Republicans feared that as those territories became states, polygamy and slavery might become permanent parts of American life. Polygamy, the marriage of one man to multiple women, devalued women and made them a kind of property. Slavery, of course, did the same to blacks, literally. The Democrats were so opposed to the Republicans and their anti-slavery stance that in 1860, just 6 weeks after the election of the first Republican president, Abraham Lincoln, South Carolina, a state dominated by Democrats, voted to secede from the Union. The Civil War that followed was the bloodiest war in U.S. history. It led to the passage by Republicans of the 13th Amendment, which freed the slaves, the 14th Amendment, which gave them citizenship, and the 15th Amendment, which gave them the vote. In 1870, the first black senator and the first black congressman were sworn in, both Republicans. In fact, every black representative in the House until 1935 was a Republican, and every black senator until 1979 was too. For that matter, the first female member of Congress was a Republican. The first Hispanic governor and senator were Republicans. The first Asian senator, you get the idea.
Right.
Republicans also kept their pledge to defend women's rights. In 1862, the Morrill Anti-Bigamy Act was passed by the Republican-controlled Congress to put an end to polygamy. In 1920, after 52 years of Democratic Party opposition, the 19th Amendment was ratified thanks to the Republican Congress, which pressured Democratic President Woodrow Wilson to drop his opposition to women's rights. In the final tally, only 59% of House Democrats and 41% of Senate Democrats supported women's suffrage. That's compared to 91% of House Republicans and 82% of Senate Republicans. There certainly was a war on women, and it was led by the Democratic Party. But while Republicans had won a major battle for women's rights, the fight for black civil rights had a long way to go. In the 1920s, Republican President Calvin Coolidge declared that the rights of blacks are just as sacred as those of any other citizen. By contrast, when famed sprinter Jesse Owens, a staunch Republican, won 4 gold medals at the 1936 Berlin Olympics, he was snubbed by Democratic President Franklin Roosevelt. Roosevelt only invited white Olympians to the White House. 2 decades later, it was a Republican president, Dwight Eisenhower, who sent the
Well, that was just what they did back then. Golly, now he did just as good as the white people, but he didn't get invited. But all the white ones did.
101st Airborne Division to escort black students into Little Rock Central High when Arkansas Governor Orville Forbes, a Democrat, refused to honor a court order to integrate the state's public schools. The Civil Rights Act of 1960, which...
And then I feel like with public school, they try to keep the public schools down as much as they can, because like I went to a public school in a little town, and like it was different from the public school from where like the neighboring towns were. And so like I feel like they learned things a little bit better than we did and stuff, because like public school, they not gonna teach you as much as like academies and all like that do. Like academies. Well, which one do y'all think is better, public school or academy? I really kind of feel like academy is just basically a name just to say, oh, I got like really proper learning and stuff. But tell me what y'all think. Which one is better, public school or academies or whatever? Tell me what y'all think. Because I liked my public school, and I might not be the brightest star in the sky, but I do know some things.
which outlawed poll taxes and other racist measures meant to keep blacks from voting, was filibustered by 18 Democrats for 125 hours. Not one Republican senator opposed the bill. Its follow-up bill, the Civil Rights Act of 1964, is one of the landmark pieces of legislation in American history. That, too, survived a filibuster by Democrats thanks to overwhelming Republican support. But you might be thinking, all that's in the past. What have Republicans done for women and blacks lately? The answer you'd hear from professors, journalists, and celebrities is not much. And this time they'd be right. They'd be right because the Republican Party treats blacks and women as it treats everyone, as equals. The Democratic Party never has, and it still doesn't. Today's Democrats treat blacks and women as victims who aren't capable of succeeding on their own. The truth is, this is just a new kind of contempt. Right. So there is a party with a long history of racism and sexism, but it ain't the Republicans. I'm Carol Swain for Prager University. Thanks for watching.
So you guys, that brings us to the end of the video. Tell me what y'all think. Do y'all feel like, well, no, that's not none of my business. I was going to say which one y'all think is better, Republican or Democrat. But that is y'all choice. Do not tell me, because that is your choice. That is your opinion. But just tell me what y'all think about the video just overall. And just let me know, because I want something. I want just like niceness, just come with just information, educational stuff. No craziness. Okay? No craziness. Okay. But that brings us to the end of the video, you guys. And I will catch y'all in the next one. Bye, you guys.